Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today it's the 1977 United States 10-cent coin, the Roosevelt dime. And we have three of them here. We have the 1977 with no mint mark, which is the Philadelphia, the 1977 D from Denver, and the 1977 S down there at the bottom from San Francisco. And you can see that has a different kind of shine to it, doesn't it? That is the proof coin from the San Francisco Mint. Some people ask sometimes, when did they stop making regular circulation coins at the San Francisco Mint and the dimes? And that was in the 1950s. This is a copper nickel outside cover. And on the inside, we have copper, fully 100% copper. And then, of course, on the back, we have the clad cover. When you look to see the value of these coins, you look at this thing right here in the center, which is a torch. Kind of looks a little bit like the Olympic torch that they hand from person to person. Not quite so stylized. So this torch here has a flame at the top, has a little kind of handle at the bottom, and right across here, it has what they call bands. You can see this band at the bottom. There's two parts to it. There's a split between the two bands, and this one's all scratched up and doesn't have what they would call a full bands. And the top does. You can very see the line going across. You also need to look at the lines going down. On the left side of the torch is an olive branch with two olives on it. On the right side is an oak branch, and there's an acorn right there, and there's another acorn there sitting facing up, as you can see. And when you start looking at the details of those, you can sometimes tell how good quality the coin is. It says United States of America at the top, one dime at the bottom. Then across here through the center, there's a dot, which is part of the outside. Then it says E pluribus unum. Then there's a dot that's part of the outside. But on the inside of the E pluribus is also a dot here between the E and the pluribus, and a dot here between the S of pluribus and the U of unum. You can see how the words kind of jump right over these design facets here, the torch, the olive branch, and the oak branch. On the front, of course, it is President Roosevelt facing to the left. This has incredibly good definition, this dime here. It says liberty in front of him, and God we trust under his chin. And you can see how sometimes these letters kind of get crowded into the rim, and this one certainly did. This isn't kind of got jammed in there. Not going to add a big amount of value to it, but it's interesting to look at. Over here we see a J and an S, and that's for John Sinek, who was the original engraver of this coin. And then here we see a 1977. At Philadelphia Mint, with no mint mark here, in 1977, they made 797 million, or essentially 800 million. Of these, there is one that is a full bands MS-67 that they found so far, and that one is valued at about $1,450. Even if you just get this down to an MS-65, it's worth $240, so not a lot of MS-65s even. Now, one of the things that's interesting on this coin is that they have changed it a little bit over time, but we never kind of noticed. So this is one of the original 1946s, and this is not a Philly, even though there's nothing near, because in 1946 on the dimes, they put the mint mark down here. So this is actually a Denver Mint coin, but what I want to show you is the one on here. When they first started making this coin, the ones had a little bit of flare on the top and a little bit of flare on the bottom. So see how that one is a little pointy there and a little bit wide on the bottom? Well, this one, gradually over time, they got rid of the pointy top, like a straight one, so you can see that there. They also made this coin in 1977 at the Denver and at the San Francisco Mint. So let's look at the Denver Mint one first. And again, this is just in great shape on the front. We see the D, it's a little bit filled up, but that's kind of par for the course. The In God We Trust, we see the W kind of jammed in there. A really nice JS there for John Sinek, the engraver. We tip this one up, of course, it's a clad one. You will not find, oh, look at that. It's a little thin in the middle. That happens sometimes, so it's a little wider here, a little thinner here. You will not find this in a silver version in 1977. They just didn't make them, for, even with the proof coins. So we look at this one, and then let's look at the bands on this one. Pretty nice bands on the bottom. Pretty nice bands on the top. Kind of okay bands going down. So this one is okay, but it's not up to an MS-65 And let's look at the one on this one. Yep, just a straight one. The Denver Mint in 1977, they made 377 million. The best they've ever found in this is an MS-67 full bands. They found 4 of them, and they're worth about $1,300. And finally, we have the San Francisco Mint one, and it is just a beauty, kind of a deep cameo here. The San Francisco Mint at a proof 69, the second best level you can possibly get. You can sometimes get this for under $10. Just not a real expensive coin because they did such a good job on them. Get onto the back and you'll see that they did a good job on the bands on the back also. Because it has the cameo, it doesn't stand out. The bands don't stand out as well, but this is a really good condition one. If you get this in a proof 70, which is the best you can possibly get, a deep cameo, they found 1,500 of these already at proof 70, and it's only worth about $25. So that's pretty much all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you might have in the comments section.